Welcome back, everybody, to the Vancouver Woodsmen Expansion series here on NBA 2K23. And today, we round out the regular season. We have 12 games left. We're 35-35, and we are currently in 9th place in our conference, which means that we're probably pretty much set in stone for a play-in tournament spot. I talked about this last episode, but the Pelicans, who are the current 6th seed, are 6.5 games in front of us, or no, 5.5 games in front of us, and we are about 7 games in front of Portland, who are the 11th seed. So we are kind of stuck here. The only way for us to really improve our spot is to get the 7 or the 8th seed out of the hands of the Thunder or Nuggets in order to get home advantage for most, if not all, of the play-in tournament games that we might have. So we're going to start off by just simming the first 11 games of the year and just watching our last game at home against the Pistons to round things out. After that, we'll go through the awards of the regular season, including MyNBA or the All-NBA teams and all that stuff. We'll look at the bracket, and then we'll round everything out by looking at the top 15 to 20 prospects on my draft board. So all that being said, let's get right down to simming and see how we do. And after game 1, which we did win, Cedi Osman has returned, and I do want to put him back in place of Bruce Brown. I just think Osman has been better, even though Bruce Brown's playing well. Apparently, I still like us better with Cedi Osman. He's a guy that can create his shot and takes more shots than Bruce Brown does, and I think our backups need guys who are confident in taking those kinds of shots. Okay, so we have simmed 11 games, and we went 7-4. We played some really good basketball down the stretch. We're now 42-39, and after checking some standings, this very last game, has no effect on any seeding for us, so we are stuck at the 9th spot in the conference. We are going to be going on the road, I believe, in our first play-in tournament game against whatever team that ends up being. I'm not sure what it is right now, but we're kind of stuck at spot 9. A win for us and a loss for somebody else won't change anything, at least for where we sit. It will matter for the Pelicans and the Thunder, depending on if they have a game left or not, which they do. They have 1 game left. The Pelicans don't. So the Thunder could actually end up surpassing the Pelicans for the 8th seed or for the 7th seed, but we are firmly stuck at 9 here. But we're going to finish with a positive record on the season, which I would have not have guessed after the first half went. But we have made some changes. Things have been working. We're 6-4 in our last 10. The offense has definitely had an uptick compared to last year, up to almost 111 points per game. And we look pretty decent these last couple of months. So first, we took down the Pelicans in a very close game at home. 22-8 for D'Lo, 20 for Anderson. The Pelicans had 30 from Zion, but Vancouver comes out on top. Then we absolutely destroyed Minnesota on the road. 18 points for Noel and Terry Perry, but the Woodsmen got 28 for Anderson, 27 for Klay Thompson, and 21 for D'Lo. Our guards really stepped up today, and I just love that we have a guy that can shoot like Simon Anderson, man. God, he is going to be special in the coming seasons for sure. We notch our 4th win in a row with a 21-point win against Denver at home. 24 for Klay, 23 for Izzet off the bench, 10 for 12 from the field. Lots of guys getting involved on offense here. The Nuggets had 21, 8 and 6 for Jokic, and 20 for Bones, but Vancouver once again wins the game. But then we get humbled by a very, very bad Spurs team. They're one of the worst teams in the entire league at 29-52, and we lost them by 20 on our own home court. 19 for Cedi Osman, 15 for Russell Anderson. Not a good day from the field. The Spurs had 25 from Malachi Branham, of all people. and not a game that you want to lose. We bounce back by taking down the Wizards at home by 9. Clay drops 23. D'Lo drops 20 and 15. Anderson drops 20. Rivers drops 20. This might be the first ever Vancouver game where we had 4 guys score 20 or more points. I think it actually is for sure. I don't think I recall seeing a stat line or a box score like this before in this series at least. But the Wizards got 23 and 10 from McCollum, 19 from Bridges, and 19 from Corey Kispert, but it was not enough. We once again take down Minnesota, this time on the road. 19 for Andrews, 15 for Wendell Moore. Cat a very low-scoring triple-double. The Woodsmen got 21 for Anderson, 17 for Thompson, 17 for Zet, and a double-double for Horace Rivers. And a win streak has returned. We make it 3 wins in a row by taking down the Warriors. We put up 53 points in the fourth quarter to come back and win by 15 points. What a way to win this game. Kuminga drops 35. Poole drops 21. Steph is held at 18, 5, and 9. The Woodsmen got 24 and 11 for D'Lo, 20 for Anderson, 20 and 10 for Rivers, and then another 20 bomb from Jalen Smith. So our second time seeing this 20-plus points from 4 different players in the same game for only the second time in our history, and it comes, I think, twice in 1 week? That's pretty solid. Our win streak goes to 4 as we blow out the Heat on the road. Harrow drops 27. John Wall against his former team, he drops 21. The Woodsmen get 31 from Simon Anderson and a double-double from Jalen Smith, and we come out on top. And this was our most recent victory. Because then we lost against the Hornets on the road, and they're a very good team, but they absolutely destroyed us. And LaMelo dropped 42, 14, and 9, 1 assist shy of a triple-double. The Woodsmen had 22 and 10 for Rivers, a double-double for Russell and for Turner, but the offense was bad. Then we score below 90 points again, this time against Philadelphia. Tyrese Maxey, 19 points for the 76ers. Azet drops 20 for us in just 18 minutes played. D'Lo, 13 points. But again, the offense not looking too great here either. And finally, our most recent game was a loss at home against the Utah Jazz, who we know about them. We've kind of traded wins and losses this year. A couple of blowouts both ways. Rivers drops 24, Azet 19, Russell 15 and 11. The offense was not bad today at all. They were pretty average, but the Jazz just played better. Ochai Agbaji, 33 points, 20 for Gary Trent and Kobe White. They were just a better team tonight, and they take us down for our 3rd straight loss. So we wrap up by taking on the Pistons, who of course have Cade Cunningham up to a 94 overall right now, 35 badges. They also have Kawhi Leonard at 89 overall at 33 years old. He's got 28 badges. Ivy may or may not play. He has a pinched nerve in his back. They got Marvin Bagley, Hamidou Diallo, Steven Adams, and more. This is a team that we can beat. They have a better roster for sure. I think we have better depth, but it's going to be a task to slow them down for sure. The Pistons will start Peyton Pritchard, Cade Cunningham, Kawhi, Bagley, and Adams. We start D'Lo, Klay Thompson, Anderson, Rivers, and Turner. Here we go in the final game of the regular season. Today we round out the regular season, looking ahead to the play-in tournament. The Pistons looking ahead to their own playoff hopes, as they are 49 and 32, as Miles Turner almost gets a steal off of Kawhi, as he was trying to find, I believe, Steven Adams inside. It might have been Bagley though, but they keep the ball. But both teams looking ahead to some postseason action. It just comes in different forms for either one of them. Pritchard fires inside. D'Lo tipped it back in. What? That could not be how we start this game. And now D'Lo throws the ball right to Adams. That same play that always sucks. So not only have we scored against ourselves, we have turned the ball over. That's not good. Marvin Bagley with the ball, working on Rivers, trying to shake him off. And he hands the ball right to Rivers, trying to hand it off to Kawhi. Anderson finds D'Lo. He passed up the three. Now we'll fire the mid-range shot, and it's good. But it'll be interesting to see how Anderson does with Kawhi guarding him. You know, he's a great defender of the claw, so we'll see if Anderson can go beyond Kawhi's defense and play some good offensive basketball today, as his first shot is a bit too much on it. D'Lo on the other end. That's a really bad shot, but he draws the foul apparently against Pritchard. Kind of a cop-out call there, so we'll take that. The first free throw is good. D'Lo 15 and 6.5 on the season. He knocks down both free throws. We're up by 2. Cunningham over Thompson. He missed it, and D'Lo comes down with it. D'Lo top of the key now, off the pass from Anderson. Can't knock it down. Kawhi against D'Lo, a mismatch there. He spins and fires. Not a good look. Just bad shot selection there by the Clippers, or not the Clippers. He plays for the Pistons now. He's no longer in LA. Anderson thought about pulling up, chose not to. D'Lo has it. He'll fire a tough look, and he knocks it down. He's got, what is that, 4? No, all 6 for us. He's got 2 buckets and 2 free throws. Kawhi gets by Anderson, and his floater is up and in. Nice move. And now, the same thing. What is this play? I've got to figure it out, man. I have to actually make myself look. That cannot happen come play-in tournament time. As that ball sails out of bounds after a miss by Cunningham, we take possession. But that play is just a disaster. Turner with it. Feeds Rivers. He was trying to find Anderson, couldn't. He finds Thompson now. He'll go back to D'Lo for a 3. And that one's off. Kawhi against D'Lo, gets by him and takes it down low for a layup. We're tied at 6. They've taken 8 shots to our 4 as Anderson misfires from the mid-range. So we're getting less shots. We're knocking down more of them, obviously, but I want to start getting more rebounds. I want to start getting more stops, too, as Kawhi just blows by Anderson. He's got 6 of Detroit's first 8. Turner with it, finds Thompson, wide open 3. It's good. There we go. It's kind of wild. Oh, that was a terrible pass, but it's kind of wild how every game, as Russell on the other end stuffs that one in. Great find there by Anderson, although, you know, he was wide open by himself. But it's kind of wild how those first couple of episodes of the year without Clay and D'Lo, the offense was always off to a slow start, never found our rhythm early on. But ever since we got both those players on the court at the same time, the offense always starts off at least decent, as D'Lo gets up to 8 points, no, 10 points. He's got 10 of our 13. But the offense just looks a lot smoother with both of those players. We knock down more shots, we spread the ball out more, and I just love what I see from them pretty much every first quarter of every game that we have watched with both those guys playing together. So that's a positive going forward. As Kawhi hits the first free throw, it leaves the second one short. Russell given some space, but this time he can't hit. He's taken a lot of shots just like last time, but this episode he's taking some smarter ones and knocking them with more ease as Bagley gets the lob there from Cunningham. Nice pass, perfectly placed to just leave it up there for Marvin. Rivers hands off to Thompson. He'll fire again, and this time it drops. That's already 2 threes for Clay here in this first quarter. He's got 6. Kawhi trying at the same play with Bagley, and it works again. Russell feeds Turner. Facing against Bagley, goes back to Russell for an open mid-range jumper. It just rattles out. Pritchard feeds Leonard. He will fade away, and the mid-range jumper is off the mark. We'll watch one more play for us on offense before we sim ahead. Russell to Turner. He will fire a deep three. What is that? Come on. 6:01 to go in this first half, so half of this quarter has passed, and we lead by 4, 43-39. So it's been a pretty back and forth game. It's been close the entire way to this point. And by the way, we have scored 17 points prior to those free throws by Rivers. So I want to see how much we score in the second half of this quarter and see if we can compare it to that and see if the offense slows down, if it gets better, or if it's the same. Cunningham's got it. He gets by Anderson and gets the bucket plus the foul. So we already can tally 2 to our offense for the last 6 of the quarter. As Cunningham knocks down the free throw, it's back to a 3-point game, 45-42. Vancouver already in the bonus for the rest of the first half. And we've got Anderson out there as he rattles off a 3. That's off the mark as Zet can't get to the rebound. But we've got Anderson, Dosunmu, Smith, Zet, and Rivers out there right now. The Pistons have Cunningham, Ivy, Diallo, Adams, and somebody else out there. I can't see who it is, but really nice take there by Ivy, who again is nursing an injury as he makes it a 1-point game. Osman and Zubats ready to come back in for Vancouver. Rivers backing down Adams. Won't fire yet. We'll pass out of it. The Sunmu off the screen from Smith. Fires from the mid-range, and that one is off too. Diallo with it. Trying to find Reed. It goes right through the hands of Smith. And Detroit takes their lead. Zet off the screen from Rivers. He'll pass back to him. It's tipped. Out of bounds off of Adams, I think, so we keep possession. That gives a chance for both teams to make a couple of subs. As Osman and Zubats have now checked in. 5 on the clock. Osman, out of a shot, goes to Zubats. He has to fire, and he scores. Ivy with it, spinning, firing. The shot is off. The ball's tipped, and Smith comes down with the miss. Zubats to the Sunmu. The play for Cedi Osman. Top of the key 3. It's in. That's what I'm talking about, man. Osman just knocks down way more shots than Bruce Brown does. That's why he's so valuable off the bench. And it's no secret that our best basketball stretches have come with Osman playing. As Zubats blocks that shot by Ivy, but Osman played during that 8-game win streak a few episodes back. Now he's back, and we're all of a sudden going to be probably 8-4 in our last 12 to finish the year if we win this game. So I think Osman is a real plus to our bench this year, and definitely helps us win more games than not. Ivy spinning, shooting. The layup is off. Good help defense by Zubats, but Dosunmu also there. Zet with it. Zubats a screen. Zet hands off back to him against Cunningham. He will pump fake, stop, and then draw the foul against Cunningham. That's his first. The 7th on Detroit here in this second quarter. Zubats' first free throw is good. And the former Clipper knocks down both. Ivy with it against the Sunmu. Takes someone in the paint. Got him with a punt fake, and the layup is off. He gets it back somehow. Lowry for 3 off the offensive board. No good. The Sunmu finds Osman. Top of the key for a 3 again, but it's off the mark this time. Diallo on the other end takes it inside and draws a foul. The second on Jalen Smith. That puts Diallo at the line. 13 points per game this season. And he goes 1 for 2 as the second one is a bit too strong. The Sunmu goes to a Zet, but he can't knock it down from deep. Ivy with it. Makes a move. Fires over Smith and hits. 6-point game. Zet hands off to Smith. He shoots, and he missed it. Cunningham throws it to Zet, trying to find Ivy, but Zet just steps right in front of the pass. Dasumu blows by Cunningham on the other end and lays it in. Vancouver back up by 8, under a minute left until we reach halftime. So just already a solid first half against another playoff caliber team. We saw it the last episode against Dallas, and we're doing the same kind of thing here against Detroit, albeit a much closer game. But again, the defense has played well, and Zet firing, missing. Smith gets the offensive board and scores. We are 1 point shy of 60. Would love us to get there prior to halftime, but the offense also playing very well. So a good combination of both sides of the court just fusing together, and that's what you look for come playoff time. Last shot of the first half for Vancouver. Zet has it. He will shoot, and it's blocked. And so the Pistons take over after a shot clock violation. D'Lo checks in for the last 1.2 seconds of the half. And the first half ends with a 10-point Vancouver lead against a playoff caliber team. As I said, a solid showing here in this first half, and we look to continue that in the second half. Start of the second half, and I want to get some more action from our starters because I love watching those guys play. I still want to find out how good we look with this lineup. We're going to stick with this, obviously, because it seems to be working for the most part. But I just want to watch more of the starters right now, so that's what we're going to do. Klay Thompson, well, that's not a good look. Cade Cunningham attacks the paint and gets the foul called on Rivers, his first. The free throws for Detroit. They cut into our lead and make it a single-digit game. He knocks down both. It's back to 8. Thompson with it. Backing down Cunningham. He spins and fires. The shot is good. Klay Thompson. Just a beautiful stroke right there. And we are shooting very well right now as a team. Cunningham against Rivers. Lobbing it for Bagley over the top. And it's just another solid pass. Another alley-oop that works in favor of the Pistons. And now, oh my God, we almost lost the ball again. Instead, Anderson fires a 3 and knocks it down. But another one of those bad plays where the center just tips the ball up in the air. I'm sick of seeing that, man. I got to figure out what that play is called. I really have to force myself to do that as Kawhi shrugs off Anderson in the paint and lays it in. He's got 14 for Detroit. 46% from the field so far for him. As D'Lo lost the ball, he gets it back. Some nice hands there by Pritchard to draw the ball loose. Thompson backing down Cunningham, spitting, and he missed it. Kawhi, it's Anderson trying to work on him a bit, size him up. Good defense so far by the rookies, learning as he stops the claw on his tracks and has to force a bad shot. You can't call a foul there. Who did you pay, Dwayne Casey? Seriously. What a terrible foul call. After all that for nothing. The fourth on Anderson. What a joke. And Kawhi knocks down the free throws. Or does he go 1 for 2? I just totally missed the first free throw. Oh well. Rivers with the ball. Trying to find somebody. Klay Thompson on the move. He will catch it and shoot. Foot past the line, and it's off either way. Kawhi against Rivers at the elbow. Steps out to the three-point line. Goes to Pritchard. Time on the clock. Adams finds Bagley. Mismatch against Russell inside. And his shot is off the mark. Anderson on the other end for three. He hits again. Man, I'm going to love watching this guy play for the rest of this series. What a fun player. Pritchard to Bagley. Back to Leonard. Screens from Adams and Bagley. Kawhi driving against Anderson. Fires, and Turner's help is a bit too late. D'Lo gets the pass over the top of Adams. Finally, the play kind of works, but Rivers missed the shot, so not really. But at least the ball wasn't turned over that play, right? We actually got like a shot off, which is a positive. Bagley spinning and firing. How does that go? And I have no idea. That was just a chuck right there. Just threw it at the rim in hopes that it would go in off of the backboard, I guess. But it's down to a 7-point game, 67-70. Turner against Adams. He will hit a tough shot over him. Okay, Miles Turner. Cunningham lobs it for Bagley. What a pass. What a play. Miles Turner with it. Hands off to Clay. He'll step back and fire a three, but it's a bit too strong as it hits back iron. Kawhi Leonard with the ball. A screen from Adams coming. He takes it. He will fire. No, he tries to pass, and it hits Turner's back, and he comes up with the steal. D'Lo to Anderson for a three. No, this time. Cunningham over Turner. Draws the first foul against him. A lot of fouls being called on Vancouver as Cunningham breaks the first free throw. A couple of subs will check in. And he goes 1 for 2. 6-point game. We'll watch one more play for the offense here and then sim to the fourth quarter. Trying to keep this game a bit short because it has no stakes. So just trying to get some quality basketball in here as Anderson, a mid-range jumper, wide open, but he bricked it. And that's all for us here in this quarter. Well, guys, we could be in for a fun finish here to round out the season as it's a 5-point game. Vancouver up 91-86. 6 minutes left in regulation. Trying to close this game out. Nice hop step by Rivers as he finds a basket. But we did score 16 points in the second half of that second quarter. I just checked. So pretty much the exact same as when we simmed. Third quarter was not our best. We only had, I think, 20 points on offense. They had like 29 or 30, which is why they have kind of closed the gap here between the start of the first half or the start of the second half and this point, as it's still a 5-point game. But let's see how this game rounds out and see where we end up on the year in terms of our overall record. Turner with the ball, 5 on the clock. Hands off to Clay. He'll spin and shoot. The shot is off. Turner dives, flicks the ball out to Rivers. He fires and scores. Great hustle by Miles Turner. That's a pretty big bucket, too, by Rivers. He's got half of his points these last, like, 30 seconds or so. Kawhi takes him inside and draws the foul on him, though. That's his third. And that puts Detroit in the bonus for the rest of the fourth quarter. Kawhi's got 23 points. And he left that one short, though, so it's now a 6-point game. Lucky for us. Rivers just jacks the shot up. Mid-range jumper. I don't like that at all, but it wasn't a terrible actual shot, just a bad look. Bagley scores and gets the foul on Klay Thompson. How many fouls are they going to call? It's supposed to be a home game, ref. Come on. Ridiculous. Bagley bricks the free throw. Ball don't lie. 4-point game. Let's try and get some offense going here. Anderson just passes to Turner. We score immediately. They heard the talk. I appreciate that. Good work, fellas. Kawhi to Bagley. Against Rivers. He missed it. The ball's tipped. He gets it back. You got to be joking. Pritchard off the screen. As a decent look. He missed it. Bagley gets the ball again. Rivers box the out, please. Anderson is stuck on D'Lo. Please fix this. Instead, Kawhi's called for a foul. That's his fourth. 14 seconds on the shot clock now after the foul. Turner inbounds. He will go to Rivers, who has some space for a three, but he missed it, getting a bit too confident now. Needs to relax on the shots. Bagley with it. Against Rivers. Wants to take him inside. And he is stopped. The ball's tipped, and Russell comes down with it. Good job. Now he'll take it himself on the other end, and he draws the foul on Pritchard. That's his fourth. And we are one foul away from being in the bonus ourselves. But the first free throw is missed by Russell. He goes 1 for 2. Cunningham takes Clay inside, and another foul. Referee, this game does not matter. Let the boys play some basketball, for Christ's sake. Let us play some defense. 3-point game. Turner with it, as our team is now apparently on fire from the court somehow. Russell has it. Screen from Rivers. He will go back to him for a three. Rivers just not finding his range right now, and the Pistons take over with a chance to potentially tie this game up with a three-pointer. So that's not good. Kawhi's got the ball against Anderson. He just chucks up a shot. It's no good. We get the rebound. One of very few this quarter, apparently. Vancouver needs a bucket, but who will supply it? Turner goes to Rivers. Against Adams, he goes back to Turner. Time counting down. He throws it up, and he hits. Miles Turner, a big shot. That puts the game back up to 5, and they have shot very well this second half. They shot, I think, 32%, like halfway through the third. They have really improved here. We have gotten worse as the game has gone on. A minute and a half to play. Detroit trying to scramble for an open shot. Kawhi will pump fake against Rivers. Drives. Can't finish through contact. Rivers, please. Get a defensive rebound. Come on, man. Give us one more clutch bucket. Somebody. Russell fires. Open shot. It's off the mark. Detroit, another chance. We have given them so many. The refs have given them so many chances. Kawhi hits another shot. It's a 1-point game. 1 minute to go. Offense. You got to do something here. D'Lo with it. He goes to Anderson. He shoots. That shot is like an air ball. I think it hit the backboard. What are we doing? Come on. I don't want to lose it in this fashion. Kawhi hits another shot. I'm going to lose my mind. Get a hand up. Hit a shot. Can we score the ball? Something. I want to win. I want to be 43-39. Come on. Vancouver has led almost the entire game. And now we find ourselves down by a 1 with 42 seconds left. With the ball, though, which is nice. But I need a good shot here. D'Lo, that's not a terrible look, but he missed the shot. What is wrong with this team right now? We cannot end the year by essentially choking this game away. We had this in a pretty good spot, and we've lost it. Kawhi trying to add to his tally. Instead, passes back out to Pritchard. Time counting down. He will fire a three. That's got to be the dagger. You're kidding me. We actually gave it up. We were looking so good for most of the game. What happened? Come on. 14 seconds left. We are officially in desperation mode. Turner goes to D'Lo. He'll fire another three. This time it's good. Make that shot. A play earlier and it's okay. We're down by 1. We have to foul. We're going to have to hope for... just hope for a 3, pretty much. He's probably going to hit both free throws anyways, so... We're probably just going to hope for overtime at this stage. As Pritchard does knock down both. We have no timeouts left. We just have to run a play. As D'Lo... What are we doing? What is that pass? D'Angelo Russell, explain yourself right now. I don't get this mad ever, but what was that? I mean, he could miss both. It is Steven Adams, but come on, man. Adams... He hits the second one, of course, just to mess with me. Now we have to just jack up a 3 with no time left. Man, we can't lose that. We finished the year like this. Come on. Anderson drops 18 points. Russell, 16, 4, and 5. Klay Thompson, 16. The Pistons had 29 from Kawhi, 23 from Cade, 16 for Bagley, 13 for Pritchard, and 10 from Ivy. We don't have to talk about this game ever again. I don't want to. We're moving on. The year's over. We're looking ahead to the postseason. Here we go. Surprise, surprise. Luka is the MVP, averaging 36, 11, and 11 over the course of the season. And Simon Anderson has won Rookie of the Year. 18.7 points per game, 3.7 boards per game, 2.4 assists, 1 steal, 0.6 blocks. He shot extremely well. 47% from the field, 85 at the line, and 43 from downtown. What a season for the rookie. Dyson Daniels wins at 6th Man of the Year, averaging 16.7 points per game. Shooting not pretty well, but, okay, I guess. Evan Mobley, Depoy, with 1.1 steals and 2 blocks per game. Pretty solid numbers there. Jalen Duren, Most Improved Player. Probably deserved. And J.B. Bickerstaff wins Coach of the Year. Brandon Harrison wins Executive of the Year. Both of those guys from the Cavaliers, obviously. Now we're going to move ahead to the All-NBA first team. You've got Luka, who is hurt, with LaMelo, Jason Tatum, Giannis, and Jokic. All-NBA second team goes to Karl Anthony Towns, Keegan Murray, Paolo Banchero, John Morant, and Darius Garland. Third team, Cade Cunningham, Tyler Hero, Zion, RJ, and Joel Embiid. Then all defensive first team, Chet Holmgren, Jaren Jackson Jr., Evan Mobley, Luka, and Lonzo. All defensive second team, LaMelo, Ben Simmons, Isaac, Giannis, and Anthony Davis. Then all rookie first team, you got Rixie Duganix, Ellis Wright IV, Tommy Shepard, Will Hollins, and of course, Simon Anderson. Great player that he is. All rookie second team, you got Chuck Outlaw, Dan Westbrook, Michael McGee, Keon Murphy, and Dalen Battle. And those are your all-NBA teams. And we are the 9th seed in the playoffs in the Western Conference. We will be a play-in tournament team. We take on the Golden State Warriors, and if we win, we will have to face the loser of the OKC/Pelicans game. So Klay Thompson will face his former team and teammates, his former Splash brother and Steph Curry, and that is definitely a storyline. But over in the West, here are your teams. You've got Houston at the 1, you've got Memphis at the 2, the Mavericks at the 3, Kings at the 4, Jazz at the 5, Denver at the 6. Then over in the Eastern Conference, you've got Cleveland at the 1, you've got the Celtics at the 2, Magic at the 3, Detroit is the 4 seed, Pacers at the 5, and Toronto at the 6. And their play-in teams are, of course, the Charlotte Hornets, the Philadelphia 76ers, the Hawks, and the Bucks. So player stats to end the season. Anderson played and started every single game except for one of them, and he averaged 18.7 points per game. He was our best offensive player, and it's only his first year on the team and in the entire league, so of course he's going to be even better next season. Klay Thompson in 38 games with us and just overall this year had 16 points per game. He shot 43% from the field, and he shot 38 from downtown. Anderson actually shot better from deep than Klay Thompson did, which is pretty surprising. D'Lo played 42 games with us. He averaged 15 points per game, 6.6 assists. He shot decently. Rivers started and played every single game this year. 13.7 points per game, just below 7 boards. Shot a lot better than last year, I think, and shot 35% from downtown. Not terrible. I think it will improve next season. Jalen Smith played off the bench every game. 11.4 points per game from him. 6.6 boards. He shot very well. Dosunmu definitely needs to work on his shooting at 42% on the season. I still think that it was probably the right move to bench him. I don't see him starting anytime soon. Azette, 10 points per game. He shot 45%, so I think it's actually pretty... I think it's down a bit from last season. Let's compare real quick. But, I mean, that's still pretty solid, so I'm not worried about that at all. Yeah, points per game went down. That's just because his role was kind of lessened this season. He also shot a bit worse, but not by much. He actually shot better from downtown this year, which is more of what you're looking for than actual field goal percentage, especially 1% change versus a 4% change. It's pretty big. So that's good to see. I think that he'll take one final leap next season, and we'll see how he does. Miles Turner with 9.9 points per game, 8.4 boards. Not what I thought he would give us offensively, but we don't need him to be a great offensive threat, I don't think. For team stats, we finish at the 7th worst spot in the league in terms of points per game. We are 26th, 7th worst, same thing. Points allowed per game, the defense definitely got worse this year, but we were still top 3. So you take that, obviously, because all the other teams down here are much better offensive teams than we are. So having a good defense is absolutely vital to winning games. So that is pretty important. Field goal percentage, we're probably middle of the pack somewhere at 20. 3-point percentage, we're probably actually pretty solid, like top 10 maybe. Yeah, we're 7th right now, which is good to see. Free throw percentage, we're probably last, if I had to guess. Oh, we're 24th. Actually got better as the year went on, thanks to probably adding Klay Thompson and D'Lo. Rebounds per game, that is definitely a thing to work on. We're at 19th right now. Assists per game, that's got to get better because we're only at 31st, second worst in the league. So I think the offense could get better if we can improve on that. Steals per game, not very high. Blocks per game, we're going to be up there. With 5.2, we find ourselves at first. So that's nice, thanks to Miles Turner. And last thing I'll check is the bench numbers. We have the 8th best scoring bench. So that's cool. So now we're going to go through a couple of prospects on my draft board. And I will say that I haven't really sorted them by any certain metric. The first couple of guys are sorted by potential. But after that, it's really just the next guy up that I looked at. So we have 18 guys on here. I'll go through all of them. Some not as in-depth as others, but I will go through all 18 of these players. There are still more guys, obviously, that probably could make the draft board. I just haven't looked through every prospect that's on my list because there's a lot of prospects that there are to look through. There's several hundred, I think, so a lot of options there. But these guys were the best that I could find in the top, like, the top 60-ish draft projections. So we'll start at the very top with the unanimous first overall pick, the guy who's going to be one of the best players of all time probably, and that's Calvin Gordon, 18-year-old center that can shoot at any spot on the court. Plays really good defense. He is a very good rebounder, good athlete, high IQ, high potential. He's just all that you want. He's a complete package kind of player. 8 badges too. So ceiling Hall of Fame, floor is a starter, no weaknesses. Now we'll check out Julio Cunningham, who is another center, another top 5 prospect. Ceiling is Ming Yao / All-NBA. Floor is Pau Gasol / starter. He also has no weaknesses. He's a good shot blocker, good pickpocket ability, and has some high potential. Let's look at his stuff. He's got 4 badges. He's got B- inside scoring, good post defense, good rebounding, good athlete, high IQ, high potential. Not as much of an offensive threat as Calvin Gordon is, but definitely probably a better defensive threat, I would say. Although he is 6'9", so a bit undersized for center. Is probably better suited to be a power forward, even though he can't shoot. Then we have Dino Jukic, who can knock down shots, but not very well from any particular spot, but he can get it done. Solid playmaker at shooting guard, good defender outside, post defense also not at a bad spot. He's a good athlete, very high IQ, most that I've ever seen from a prospect, and also extremely high potential. And he's got 5 badges, 4 defensive / rebounding, and 1 playmaking. So again, not a shooting guard, just a guard that can play both spots, I guess. But he's supposed to go top 5 or top 10, somewhere around there. Ceiling is all-star, floor is a starter, also no weaknesses. Then we have center Preston Richards. Comparison is Alonzo Mourning, All-NBA, floor is bench, so kind of more of a boomer bust kind of prospect here. Good lower body strength, he's crafty at the rim, good lift on his jump shots, but will make some bad offensive plays from time to time, which is concerning. Only averaged 9 points per game in college, but that's from 1 game, so can't really use that as a basis for any kind of assumption. He's got 1 badge though for defense or for rebounding. He can knock down the mid-range shot, can score at the rim as we saw. Post defense, rebounding, and athleticism are all lower than Gordon and Cunningham, but the potential is still there, and he's 7 foot tall. At 5, we've got Terrence Ryan, who is only a 70 overall, but his potential is A. So this guy is probably a very true boomer bust because he's not at a good spot to start his career. He's pretty much only a good defender, can't really hit shots with any consistency. Good athlete though, high potential. IQ is not that great. Only 1 badge and it's for defense. But his ceiling is Hall of Fame. Floor is Andre Roberson, who is a defensive player. So really tough guy to draft. I'm not going to probably draft him, but he's there if we want him in the 2nd round perhaps. He's probably not going to be taken until down there anyways. So could this be like a project for us? Let's see, drafted. He's got 14 here, 37, then 60. He could be taken at any point during this draft, and it would not be shocking. Then you got Paolo Pacciani, a power forward, 19 years old. He's supposed to go in the top 12 at the very least. He's got 1 badge for finishing. He's got good inside and mid-range scoring. Defense needs some work. Rebounding is solid. IQ is solid. Potential is there. And his comparison is Tom Chambers / All-Star. And his floor is Clark Kellogg. Some strengths, some weaknesses. So another guy that's not, like a surefire good prospect, but he could give you something. But again, I think I'm trying to avoid a power forward here. I think I'm looking for either shooting guard, small forward, or center in this draft. Then we have Rasheed Sanders, 19 years old, compared also to Alonzo Mourning / All-NBA floors Elton Campbell / bench. He's a good on-ball defender, a lot of heart in terms of rebounding, a good second jump, a couple of offensive weaknesses here. His projection is either 7, 8, or 14. He's got 2 badges, one for finishing, one for defense / rebounding. He's got A- inside scoring, can't knock down jump shots, and his defense needs work outside, but he can defend down low pretty decently. Rebounding needs a little bit of work for a center, but he's got a good athleticism. He's got high potential. IQ is pretty low. So another, guy that you kind of hope will improve. You can't expect much on his first season, though, especially offensively. At 8, we have Aaron Castro, a power forward. B- inside scoring. Not good elsewhere offensively. Post defense is pretty average, but still pretty solid to start off a career. Rebounding could be better. It's in a solid spot. Athleticism at B, potential A-. And he's got no badges, which is concerning, but his ceiling is All-NBA. His floor is bench. He's a good low post defender. Not a lot of, or no, he does have a lot of lower body strength. Has some high potential, as we saw, but again, can't really make much offensive plays, so that's concerning. At number 9, we have center Bryant Fleming, compared to the Jonas Ilgauskas / All-NBA. Floor is Alex Len. He's 6'11". Can make tough plays on defense. Good pickpocket ability. Knows when to hit the board. So pretty much a good defensive / rebounding player. Not a great athlete, so that's concerning. But he's got D+ inside scoring, A mid-range scoring, can't knock down threes. He's got B post defense, B rebounds, A- potential. The positive things there, but overall still probably a project guy. No badges either, so he needs some work before he is good to play. But he's going to go late first round probably, or the second round at some point. Number 10, we have small forward Bernie Cage. He is supposed to go in the top 5. So probably not going to get him, but he's got 1 badge for finishing. He's got B+ inside scoring, B- perimeter defense, B+ post defense. So a good defensive player, probably the best that we've seen, both outside and also inside the paint. B- rebounds, B athleticism, C+ IQ, B+ potential. I think he would be a really good guy to have for us at small forward, except for the 3-point shooting. That's pretty bad, but he's a solid player. But we're not going to get him because I don't plan on trading up very far, if at all, because we have 2 first-round picks. His ceiling is Bobby Jones / All-NBA. Floor is Bonzi Wells, still a starter though. But again, a good on-ball defender. Knows when to hit the boards, aggressive at the rim. But he's not a good finisher apparently, so those two kind of conflict. And offense could use some work for him for sure. Then we have Kyle Gardner, another center, 19 years old, 6'11", out of San Diego State. Ceiling is starter, floor is starter, good dunker, good low post scorer, decent low post defender. Not a good offensive player, does not have good reflexes. He just can't really play offense as of right now. That needs a lot of work, but he's got A+ post defense, B+ rebounds. IQ is pretty solid. Potential's B+. So definitely a guy to look out for in this draft. He's got 3 badges too, all for defense or rebounding. And he's supposed to go either at 11, 15, or 15. So probably middle of the first round. At 12, we've got one of my favorite prospects, Byron Wellington. Now, he is a point guard. I'm not trying to target point guards this draft, but if he's there, I might take him and just put him as shooting guard because this guy can shoot. His ceiling is Steve Kerr. His floor is Lou Williams. That sounds fine to me. Strength, he's a really good finisher. He should have good success as he matures at the NBA level. He's a good on-ball defender as well. But sometimes, he'll let guys get past him. A poor finisher through traffic. I mean, this conflicts with his strength of elite finishing ability. But look at this. This guy is a great scorer, a great shooter. A- inside scoring, B+ mid-range scoring, A+ three-point scoring, B+ playmaking, B+ defense. I mean, this guy is a package. This guy's the real deal, a 6'4" point guard. And if I were to draft him, which I think is very possible, I just keep Anderson at small forward. I play Wellington at shooting guard, perhaps, if he's good enough to start. And then we have a squad because he can already shoot. He's already great at that. His potential is only a B, but that means he'll probably get to about like an 80 overall, I would say, or like 79. I mean, if he can shoot like this, you don't need much more than that. And he'll get badges as he, plays in the NBA. And he's also got 6 badges. He's got 1 for defense and rebounding, 3 for playmaking, 1 for shooting, and 1 for finishing. I think he, if on our team, would provide shooting and also better passing to up our assists per game based off of those playmaking badges and his playmaking ability already. So he's probably my favorite prospect that I could see us having at our pick. But also, draft projection, 10th, 9th, 6th. It's my first time seeing that, so there is a chance that we trade up perhaps. But there's also one more guy that looks a lot like he does, and that's Ralph Simmons. Also 6'4", also a point guard, also a 76 overall. He's supposed to go at 13 or 8 or somewhere around there. So late to middle of the lottery. But this guy, ceiling starter, floor starter, can hit jumpers, high upside, comfortable shot from downtown. And look at this. A- inside scoring, B+ mid-range scoring, B 3-point scoring, A- playmaking, A- defense. I mean, what more do you ask for? Sometimes you don't have to draft off potential. You draft off of current ability. And I think these 2 point guards right here are prime examples of guys that you take knowing that they're probably at or close to their ceiling. And that's okay. He's also got 3 badges, 1 for playmaking, 1 for shooting, and 1 for finishing. So already, starting with a couple of badges is pretty solid. So that is nice. So those 2 guys are my favorites because of their offensive and defensive ability. Because that is big. Having both of those things as a rookie is a huge deal, I think. But now, pick 14, or number 14 on our list, is Magnus Fredriksson, a center out of Sweden. B+ inside scoring. He can't shoot otherwise. He's got A- post defense, B+ rebounding. IQ is not there, but the potential is there at B+. And he's got no badges. He's supposed to go at 17 or 11 or maybe even 19. Ceiling is a starter. Floor is Daryl Dawkins / bench. He can hold his own in the paint. Good upper body strength, good rebounder. But a poor vertical and not the best at staying in front of his man on defense. Then 15, we've got Hans Meyer at shooting guard, 19 years old, 6'5", 73 overall. Ceiling is Dale Ellis / all-star. Floor is Kyle Korver / bench. He's got some potential. He's got good reflexes, a knack for steals, can get to his spots okay, tends to make some poor choices with the ball on occasion, and not a good mid-range shooter. But he's a good inside scorer. He's a great 3-point shooter. He's got pretty solid defense outside. Playmaking C+. That's not terrible for a shooting guard. Post defense also not awful. He's a good athlete, and his potential is only B, so I mean, he's all right. But 4 badges, all for shooting. That is important. Number 16, we have Ramon Guzman, a 7'2" center out of Argentina. He's got 2 badges, both for defense or rebounding. Already a 75 overall, or just about. He's supposed to go at pick 21 or pick 14 or pick 17. So he could be there for us. Just depends on where our pick is and if he drops to us. His ceiling is Mo Bamba. His floor is Bol Bol's father. Strength, good on-ball defender, good rebounder, potential, so he'll grow as he plays. Not a good offensive player. He can't hit threes though, so he's kind of a stretch 5. Also a very good post defender, as we saw from the scout reports. B rebounds, B potential though. So, you know, half of these guys on this draft board don't have a very high ceiling, but they could have some good impacts right now in their first year of their careers, and beyond that if they get just a bit better. We then have Javon Haynes, who I think is projected to be drafted by us with our second first-round pick. But Haynes is 6'11", a really good offensive center, B+ inside scoring, B+ mid-range, A+ 3 points. He's also a good defender, B+ post defense, B rebounds. IQ needs some work, potential not very high, but already, again, another player who can provide stuff on both ends of the court almost immediately. And I think that if, you know, we move on from Zubats perhaps, or we just draft him and then later move on from Zubats, I think that can make some sense. We give Haynes some playing time if we draft him. No badges though, which is concerning. But his projection is 25, 29, or 11. So he could fall to us. If he does, I definitely see us drafting somebody like him at one of our picks. Just depends which pick that is. But his comparison is Kristaps Porzingis, a good low post scorer, good low post defender, one of the best pure shooters in the draft, as we saw. 4 vertical ability, below average defender, which I'm not sure that I agree with that per se, but probably one of the better prospects on this draft board. So with one guy left, which is Oscar Tucker, who probably I won't take, but he's just there because of his potential. But Javon Haynes, Ralph Simmons, and Byron Wellington currently are my top 3 players that I could see us realistically drafting. So outside of those 3, it's kind of up in the air. But the last guy, Oscar Tucker, 6'3" shooting guard out of Massachusetts. Great 3-point shooter, can knock down mid-range shots. Defense is at a decent spot for both post and outside of it. But good athlete, good IQ. Potential is the lowest on our draft board. And he's down here for a reason, but, you know, just a guy that could be something. And also, he's got 7 badges. I've never seen a guy that has such low potential, but also so many badges. He got 5 shooting badges. That is really good. This guy is just a pure shooter. That's pretty much all you get is a pure shooter. So he's there. If you want to take him, he's supposed to go at 26, 21, or 21. So, I mean, late first round at the best. And those are your top 18 prospects as of right now. But again, Wellington, Simmons, and Haynes are my probably top 3 guys that I could see us taking here. And that is all I have for us today. My voice is tapped out, so I'm going to call it here. But next episode, we take on the Warriors. If we lose, we're done, and we go right into our off season. But if we win, we have to face the loser of the Thunder and Pelicans play-in game between the 7 and 8 seed. So next time we take on the Warriors, here's what their roster looks like as of right now. They've got Steph Curry, Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins, Jonathan Kuminga, James Wiseman, Moses Moody, and more. They're a really good starting 5. Beyond that, they have a pretty poor bench, which could be where we have a chance to really make an impact and maybe grab a lead there, perhaps. But the starting 5 is going to be quite a tall task for us to contain because it's an insane starting 5. So that's about it. So we'll call it here. Here's your last look at the playoff bracket. And I will end the episode right here. Thanks, guys, so much for watching. And until next time, take care and go Woodsmen.